results come in. And so I did something else. But, by the time that I had passed the bar and got my results, I ended up, doing something else. But yeah, I was actually going to work for a law firm, and their whole thing was class action against the cigarette companies. And they ended up winning. So I know that the law firm, what is it? You get like, it's 33%, right?
Well, no, yeah, the contingency fee agreement.
Yeah, it's 33%.
Yeah, so they raise a little better than that, maybe 40, 50 if you're going to litigate it.
Yeah, so I can tell you this. I know that law firm got like $1 billion judgment, Anthony.
Right.
Like a few years later. So we're talking about at least $330 million came to that guy.
They get the money. Man.
So I don't see why we shouldn't do $1 billion lawsuit against the pharmaceuticals and get a windfall of $330 million for ourselves, and we can really dollar cost average then.
Well, we'll talk after the program, man.
Yeah.
That's a nice segue though into wealth.
Yes, very nice segue into wealth. So, and as people are tuning in, let's see, people are tuning in on YouTube, people are tuning in on Facebook, and people are tuning in on X. So good to have you all. So let's get into this vibe. So again, I can't stress it enough. And Brother Red Pill is ahead of the curve in what he's doing with AI. AI is it's going to be the new economy, and it's slowly becoming the new economy. Why am I saying that? I'm going to play this for you because this came up in my X feed today as well. So many of you all have heard of Dana White. Dana White is
UFC.
The UFC guy, but what a lot of people don't understand is that wealthy people, they serve on the boards of other companies. So this is how wealthy people make money too. They serve on the board of companies, and them being on the board where they advise and what have you, whether they even know anything about the topic. Just because you're wealthy, they understand how wealth works. And so other wealthy people, they like to have other wealthy people on their boards of their companies. So it turns out Dana White is on the board of Facebook, of Meta.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, what does someone who runs a fighting organization have anything to do with a social media company and a tech company like Facebook? Well, wealthy people deal with wealthy people. And that's why wealthy people get the inside information of what's happening. And that's why they're able to invest in things before other people. Okay. So it literally pays to be wealthy. So I want you all to see this. I'm going to share this with you all. And this is why, the work that Red Pill is doing, he needs to get a standing ovation for it because he's ahead of the curve. And many times our people are behind the curve.
Right.
Okay. So I want you all to look at this. I want you all to just listen to what he's about to say. I was shocked when I saw this. All right. Listen to this.
10 kids.
You all see this?
So Meta,
we got it.
Okay,
I'm on the board for Meta.
Meta is the name for Facebook. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they're going all in on AI, right? Listen to what he's saying. Just listen.
All right.
So Meta AI, I'm on the board for Meta. I just got back from a Meta board meeting. Zuckerberg, who is a brilliant gangster, this guy is a gangster. These people who try to talk about him and everything else. I'm so blown away and impressed by this guy. He's an animal. And putting all the chips in on AI. We just hired like 10 kids that are aged 22 to 28. The average salary is like $65 million.
Did you all hear that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Did you all hear that? I'm going to I'm going to rewind it.
Yeah, play it again, brother.
I'm going to rewind it and then play the rest of it, and we're going to talk.
So Meta AI, I'm on the board for Meta. I just got back from a Meta board meeting. Zuckerberg, who is a brilliant gangster, this guy is a gangster. These people who try to talk about him and everything else. I'm so blown away and impressed by this guy. He's an animal. And putting all the chips in on AI. We just hired like 10 kids that are aged 22 to 28. the average salary is like $65 million that these kids are making that are coming and working on AI. But AI, you hear a lot of negativity about AI. There's way more positives about AI than negative. So Meta AI, I got,
All right. I'm going to stop there. A lot of people might not take from this what I'm taking from it, but did you all hear the average age of the people they're hiring? He said like 24 to 28, something like that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Right.
Average salary $65 million.
Yeah. Come on in, Red Pill. We need you to share what you know about this, my brother.
Huh?
The average salary is $65 million for the 10 kids that they hired at Meta.
Yeah.
So that means that they're spending $650 million on 10 people for a salary. $65 million a year as a salary because these kids are experts in AI. Red Pill, take the floor.
Come on, brother.
Yeah. We've been preparing our audience and our network over the course of about, I would say, 5 years, nonstop to, qualify for these high level jobs, because it's all about upskilling. And, it's all about basically just being a problem solver in real time. And the advantage is in everyone's court, because I promise you, no one has the lead over anyone else, because this is new technology. There's new ways to do everything. It's just how you apply it. So I'm looking at the 20 to 28 year olds, the 22 to 28 year olds, because once again, those are the ones who are, not to take anything away from the millennials or the Gen X's and whatnot, but that younger audience, those younger developers and those younger engineers, they are favored in the industry right now. And I've been telling parents out there, I'm like, yo, put your children in our courses, like steer them to where it is that we're doing, and you will see the benefit of it. I hope and I pray that some of those parents listened. I don't have too many 18-year-olds that signed up for our courses and workshops. There's a lot of the older people that did that. And it goes back to the story of them putting our people in fear, saying how many people were being fired and laid off and whatnot. But they didn't mention that they are paying people $65 million a year, though. Right. That wasn't put out there. You know what I mean? Because our people will aspire to chase the bag and whatnot and go to where the money is. They basically stifled the growth and development of so many Black women and men by putting them in a fear space. They didn't put them in this space of upskilling and studying for about 3 to 4 years so they could qualify for these roles, because it's not just Meta that's giving people these opportunity. Anthropic is, NVIDIA is, there's a whole list of names. The thing with Meta is they're playing catch up to the growth, and their names do not get mentioned in the conversation. So they had to scrap their metaverse unit and shift all of the money over to their AI. They just launched something the other day, like an image app, like a image generator. It's pretty good too. It definitely pretty good. It's called Muse, MUSE. But they're not movers and shakers in that space. And that just goes to show, even with Meta at being they're a non-factor. They're not movers and shakers, and they're spending $65 million. So imagine the companies that are the movers and shakers that have all of the motion. Right. What are they paying?
There you go. That's right.
What are they paying? So yeah, it's getting scary out there.
Hey, Brother Red Pill, is that any certification that you need in AI or that you would recommend?
Yes.
In AI? Talk about that.
There's a slew of certs that people can get from, Harvard. They have some courses, Microsoft, NVIDIA. There's a lot of free courses, as a matter of fact. You could go on Udemy. You could go on Thinkific. You could go on some of these educational platforms, these e-platforms, and you could get certified. I suggest that people get as many certs as they can.
That's right.
Spend that $99
Right.
Some of them are even free. You know, it looks real good on your LinkedIn. That's
right.
where a lot of people are being, you know, hired from.
Right.
A lot of the businesses go to LinkedIn and see who's certified, who has the certs.
There you go.
But yes, it is an open field right now to get certed, to get, you know, get your certifications up.
Right.
Yeah, and I can tell y'all, like right now I have Claude is doing free certifications, man.
Yep.
And I can even probably show y'all the link where you can get into their free certification. I'm gonna share it with you all right now.
Right.
I signed up for it, and
Oh, you just did it, or you done it?
I signed up for it like a month ago, and you
Okay.
can just do it at your own time.
Right.
And this is the link here. I'm gonna just put it on the screen for you all, and you can just follow this, and for free, you can get certified in Claude. And Claude is offering this, so this is not like a third-party certification. This is Anthropic. Does everyone see this?
Yeah, we see it.
It's anthropic.skilljar.com.
Right.
Claude 101, and it says Anthropic Academy courses. Sign in. Claude 101. Learn how to use Claude for everyday work tasks. Understand core features. Explore resources for more advanced learning on topics. Register for free, and they walk you through everything. You only need to like maybe commit 30 minutes a day to it, and certificate of completion. You get a certificate of completion, and so you just walk through everything, and you can go through all types of courses they have. So they have Claude 101. So they have Claude Code 101, Claude Platform 101, Introduction to Claude Cowork, Claude Code in Action, AI Fluency, Framework and Foundations,
Right.
Building with Claude API, Introduction to Model Context Protocol, AI Fluency for Educators, AI Fluency for Students, Model Context Protocol, Advanced Topics, Claude with Amazon, Claude with Google Cloud, Teaching AI Fluency, and it goes on and on. AI Fluency for Nonprofits. So let's break this down. Let's just say you do this, you literally can become a consultant to nonprofits, how they can use AI to better what they're doing. Remember, a lot of nonprofits have budgets set aside through grants to pay for consultants that's going to help them modernize their systems.
Right.
So this could become a huge business opportunity for people who want to become consultants to businesses, because businesses are going to have to start using AI. Like right now, I'm installing AI to herbalresults.net, so let me just tell you how it's working. And I have my good brother, Kwadwo Takumbo, who is doing this for me with Herbal Results. And what's happening is that he's creating, so I mean, anyone can go here and just look at all the different certifications that they have. And really and truly, you know, I'll be going through all of this myself, and I'll get certified in all of this. But I'm not doing it necessarily to get a job, which you can. I'm doing it to get a greater understanding of what is necessary to understand to be competitive in this next iteration. So I'm going to be doing all of these. I'll just do 30 minutes, 1 hour a day, and within a year, I would have been certified in all of these.
Excellent.
Right?
Yeah.
Directly from Anthropic. And just the other day, Elon Musk admitted that Anthropic is winning right now in terms of the AI race. He even said that. He said he was wrong about Anthropic. He didn't think that they were going to do well. He literally
saw that.
like, he was like, I was wrong. You know, so I'm going to be doing all of these courses here and getting certified in all of everything that they're offering, and these are free, y'all. And so I would strongly advise that like people start looking at this very seriously. They're paying if they're paying individuals $65 million,
Right. Mm-hmm.
then you understand on the investment side how much money they're anticipating to make. If they can pay someone, one person, let alone now 10 people, as Dana White, and see, this is why it's important to have access to movers and shakers, because they're going to tell you what's really happening, right? You wouldn't know this if Dana White is on the board of Meta and he's telling you what's going on the inside. You wouldn't know this. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, there are 10 people they just hired, paying them
Right.
$65 million each.
Wow.
So what type of return on investment are they looking for? They're looking for at least a 10x.
That's crazy.
It's going to be unbelievable. Hey, brother Red Pill, did you know, man, that you can go to school, college, and get a degree and a master's degree in artificial intelligence?
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
know that till recently, my brother.
Yes,
so
sir.
How do you see this thing, AI, man? The speed of it, where's it going? I know where it is in the legal arena. And if Heru allowed me to share the screen, I'll show you what I built on one of these LLMs.
Absolutely, let's do that. But let's have Red Pill comment real quick.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
it's in a very interesting place, Brother Anthony, in terms of, let's just talk about the moves that are being made in the background to kind of close the doors, because the opportunity is beginning to they're beginning to close the doors on the opportunity. You have China. They are contemplating restricting open source models, and they're also contemplating pulling back on the plethora of AI models that they've shipped, right? Because they are the direct threat to the market, right? Because Anthropic charges a certain amount of money. So does all of these other what they call frontier models in the USA. And as we saw with the Mythos release, and then with ChatGPT, with the Soul and the Luna and the Terra release, they held it back and only gave enterprise access to it. And what does that mean?
Wow.
What that means is they're creating a moat right now where the average person is not going to have these super powerful computers in their hands. Because first of all, a lot of people don't know what to, I mean, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing with it anyway. They're not innovating, they're not building. And when I say they, I mean our people. Let's be clear. We are not doing anything to the degree. We're not disrupting any industries. We're not really building like that. You have individuals that are doing things, but there's no real, like, the time and the energy people put into like complaining and marching and doing other type of symbolic gestures. If they shifted that energy into building and to disrupting, they would make more.
Red Pill, can you say that again for the people in the back?
The kinetic energy that people are putting into complaining, into putting into marching and doing other things that don't really have the best results, because, you know, insanity is doing the same thing and looking for results, but we know that that's a distraction. If they put that energy into building, problem solving, and disrupting, which is very important. If we're not disrupting anything, then we're not doing anything. We're supposed to be disrupting industries with the tools that they gave us to disrupt them. But now they're realizing these tools are becoming too powerful. We're going to have to start restricting access from people that are not considered enterprise. And what does that mean? Yeah, a lot of people have LLCs, but they're not corporate. They don't have corporations. So enterprise is becoming the favored go-to and whatnot, and they're restricting these powerful tools from the hands of the average person, because it's like, we're not about to give y'all all of the tools to take us down, because at the end of the day, we've seen the stock market get disrupted when Anthropic dropped certain tools. We saw when DeepSeek dropped, it made the market, the whole board went red, right? Because it disrupted all of these legacy companies that had a monopoly on certain things and whatnot. Yeah.
Good point. And you're right, man. I see it changing. It's going, and they know, of course, because I see it on the legal end as a solo attorney, and with AI and dealing with these large language models, it put me on par with some of the major and big corporate law firms. So that is how powerful AI is. So it kind of puts you on that level. And if you're not using AI in your company, you're going to be behind on this thing, brother Red Pill. And when I started to using it, I saw a tremendous change, not only in the product, but also in the return. So
let's get into it, brother Anthony. Let's get into some specifics, right? I want you to talk about how you've been using AI to scale your business, and I'm going to talk about AI being used to scale herbal results. So why don't you go first, Brother Anthony?
Yeah,
You can
I
share.
use, well,
You
I
can
just
share.
I just go with some of the injury cases that I
Mhm.
work.
Did you want to share your screen or something?
Yeah. Let me show it
Yeah,
to you, brother. I want to
yeah,
show
you
you right
can.
there. You've already seen it. And y'all, you see that?
No, we're not able to see your screen.
All right. Okay. I don't. I need to do something on my end, brother.
No, you shouldn't. You should just press plus. And you should be able to do it.
All right. Let's do that. Share screen and go here. Do you see it now?
No, not yet. Does it say? Let me see if it's. Let me see if it's in the queue. No, it's not in the queue. Let me see something. Gas.
And so you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. I don't know what. All right. So,
Yeah, I
all
don't
right, but
see that you're in the queue. But yeah, go ahead and let me see.
we'll get it done.
I'm
We'll
gonna
get
see
it
if I
done.
can fix it somehow.
Yeah, but anyway, what I use Brother Red Pill in the past, third party, to draft some of my documents. One in particular is the demand that I use. So when AI came along, I dropped the third
Brother
party.
Anthony, try it again. I think I
I'm already up.
changed the setting.
It's up. You should be able to see what I want you to see here.
No, I can't see it for some reason.
Yeah,
Huh.
so we dropped the third party, brother AI, Heru,
Okay.
and we started using artificial intelligence for drafting our demands and some other documents. So, and what we learned prior to dropping these third parties, that others was creating tools. Harvey, Eve, they got all sorts of legal tools, legal AI tools on the market. And they were demanding and asking for lots of money to use them to the tune of $15,000 and more a year, 12 and up to use the products. I said, no, I'm not going to pay you. So I went to the LLMs and I built my own tool on par with the ones that are demanding and asking for all the money to use their tools. So these large language models, man, with codecs and all the things that you do on there, and you're familiar with it. So I just took me a couple of weeks or whatever, and I built my attorney dashboard superset, and it got is from the litigation I'm talking about up and down the line when you're talking about pre-litigation and litigation, the whole 9 yard workflow builder, case command center, the defense forecast, autopilot, litigation mode, case notes. All of this is on my tool. Case valuation AI, the timeline automation, the negotiation simulator, the carrier brain, the value maximizer, the demand builder, the alert center, AI package studio, the settlement disbursement, the settlement toolkit, documents, task, calendar, document. I mean, it's all on there, man. Everything that you ever want. I even took it a step further, and it's better than some of the tools that are on the market now that I built. So we'll get a chance to show it to you a little later, but I'll stop there. Brother Heru, go ahead. Are you still there? We'll let you, Brother Red Pill, come on back, man, and give me a comment on what you heard.
Say that again. I'm sorry, my brother.
Yeah, if you want to comment on what you heard, feel free, man. So I can't.
The building of the tools and stuff.
Right. Yes, sir.
Oh man. Right now with the access to Anthropic's Fable 5 and OpenAI's Soul, Terra, the new ones is called 5.6.
Right.
You literally could build something out in what is called a one-shot prompt, meaning that if you put a detailed prompt together, you could literally press enter and it will build it out from that prompt. You won't have to press anything else after that. As long as it's a detailed prompt, it's put together the right way, because AI is all about structure.
Right.
We're talking about a large language model. So it's all about how you put the language together and how you structure it. It will do its work from there, right? You know, backslash goal, backslash loop, and things of that nature. The agents are working now. It's not this, we're not in the chatbot era anymore. So we were used to chatting with the chatbots and just getting answers from asking it. Now it's more proactive. It's agentic AI. So you have to program it similar to how your boss will program you every day, similar to how a manager will program a worker and tell them what to do and give them tasks and things of that nature with an end goal in sight. Well, now you have that same experience. So for the people who may have gotten laid off, or the people who find themselves unemployed or self-employed, or the serial entrepreneurs that literally want to create more income streams, you should not be doing anything but that at this point. Building out tools, building out solutions, and coming up with, I will go into my notes and I will flesh out all of my ideas that I've been dealing with over the years, and I will start building out those ideas into either tools like apps, websites, mobile apps, dApps, decentralized apps and whatnot. There's so many things that could be done at this point. And then one of the biggest things is in education. So if you open up a homeschool, or if you open up something in a community, I'm doing summer school right now in New York and whatnot. I've been tapped to do a summer camp. So there's so many things that you could do in education, and there's billions of dollars in grant money for all of my brothers and sisters that do grants. Go and get the money. Go and get the money. You could hire an expert such as myself. I have other people on my team, and we will help you. We will help to educate you. We will train you. Go and get that bread though. That's something that our women, our sisters, they get a lot of, they're very proficient in corporate America structure and in corporate America. So right now in the agentic AI era, it's all about having a corporate mind state, knowing what the CEO does, knowing what the CTO does, knowing what the COO does, knowing what different people do, and then you program your agents to become your workers. So there's a shift in mentality that we're having right now, to whereas we're waking up and we have somebody working for us versus us waking up and working for someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Brother Anthony, I looked it up and there was nothing special that had to be done to share your screen. All you were supposed to do was hit that plus button.
Right.
Then where it says share screen, because I did want people to see the beautiful layout that you have. You just click share screen, and then you share whatever screen it is, and then you click whatever screen, whatever tab it was, or whatever window, and then you click share. And when you click share, it would pop up on my panel, and then I would just allow it to be shared. So I don't know if you did that, but it would have been great if we were able to. And if we can't do it this week, we'll do it next week. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll definitely figure it out.
Yeah. Did you want to try it again?
Let's do it again. When their entire screen there, Microsoft Edge. I see the Microsoft Edge. That's not what I want to show there. Can't find what I want to show, but continue on.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
You could go entire screen if you want. So then whatever you're looking at, that's what we'll see.
Okay.
So you could just go entire screen. That way you don't have to pick that particular window. You can just hit entire screen and then click where it says entire screen.
Can you see it now?
And then you hit share. Did you hit share? Yes, I can.
Yes,
wait. Yes, I can. Yep, here we go.
All right, you see it?
Do it. Yep.
All right. Red Pill. Here's what I built here, brother. Called the Attorney Dashboard.
Yes.
In the superset here. And it's a practice hub right here. I don't have any information on there, confidential or personal information. If you see on the left right there, that's the pipeline board.
Pipeline board, beautiful.
That's the matters there. We do the intake, personal injury stuff there. You got even the intake queue. You got your medical chronology where you can put what you want in there. And the way you do it, my notes, I got hospital notes or something coming in. I'm putting it here, and then I'm clicking over here to my package. And that package right there, I'm going to the LLM and clicking over there and doing my thing. So I won't have an issue with confidentiality and those types of things and giving out personal information. You got the demand builders there, my brother. And then you got discovery when you go litigate, case review, and the strategy energy, the workflow builder there. So it can build and copy, and it's got a Dropbox right there that build demand package, build your negotiation packet or pack, and you got my case command center, and you got your missing evidence and all that there. Your case command develop the file before sending demand, and defense even got a forecast right there, give you some forecast and allow you to build your rebuttal pack right there. This is all what I built, man. You got autopilot, and autopilot plan. That's for the intake to demand guide plan, and your litigation mode is here as well. It even gives you your trial themes, deposition prep targets, your trial themes, your litigation builder. All here is a game changer, man. And also you got your case notes, your case notes there, and your case valuation AI right here, your value and your carry expectations, all there. You got the time automation right here built in, time automation. Now this is all from LLM. This is all from your AI. This is what I built here. So, and you got your carrier brain there, where you got the predict likely adjusted themes and reserve posture and some of those counter patterns right there. And you got your value maximizer, where you see what is suppressing value and what actions can be increased right there. And then you got your demand package builder that goes and do all the work that a third party used to do for me. And you got even alert center, and you got your AI package studio right there. You got your master AI packet and case packet, demand workflow file. And but the bottom line is, I would have to go out and purchase a tool and pay them monthly up to the tune of $15,000 annually or more. So I decided to build my own. This is what I came up with, my brother.
Now, Brother Anthony, aside from the tool would be basically using an AI tool that someone else has developed that you would have to use. But before the AI tool, what was the model? The business model was to hire an outside firm, right? Or for the firm to hire employees to do this type of work, right?
Right.
So how much money would you say that a firm would be saving by just having this tool?
This is only on one case. You're talking, a paralegal. If you don't, you have one in your office, but you have many cases. So you use third-party paralegals to do the work, and they charge you hourly. So it could be per case. It can go over into $2,000 to $3,000 per case.
Right. And so how many cases would, the average law firm or maybe even solo practitioner? Let's just take a solo practitioner. Yeah.
Let's say solo, 10 to 12, 15 demands per month.
Okay. So you're talking about $30,000 a month.
Right.
So that's $360,000 in a year that you're saving by just having an agent. See, this is why this conversation is really important for people to understand. And here's the other side, is that if Brother Anthony wants at any time, he can sell this agent that he's developed to other lawyers. Because what happens is that you just plug in the case information into a portal, and then it takes care of all the paperwork that would necessarily need to be done along with the development of the case all the way up to settlement.
Yeah, here's the other thing, Brother Heru and Brother Red Pill. When you work in the LLMs, of course you can turn the not share my data off in the enterprise version and some of the others, right, Red Pill? But on this one that I built is not in the ALM. It's separate and apart. and
Right.
it's on my computer.
Right.
So
Right. It's
whatever
local.
it's local. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Got my
Oh,
expert
no.
right here, expert Red Pill AI. So look, but so it's local on my computer. To deal with confidentiality and personal information that I don't want. Although the LLM will let you know, or you can uncheck that or check it. You don't want your data shared in the LLM. I don't trust that. So
Right.
when I want to go over there, I have an opportunity in my tool to either use fictitious name, and then you parlay it, you carry it over to the LLM, and then it will spit out whatever you want. But
Yes.
mine is already built. Well, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's genius, good brother, because data is the moat, right? Data is the moat. Data is literally gold. Data is literally the oil. Now that you have your data protected and it's
Right.
local, and you have an advantage because you now can leverage that data over the years and whatnot of just interaction, people interacting with the site, people tapping in. It is definitely an advantage, and you'll be, you made the right move. And you're going to be in control of your
That's right.
data. You don't have to worry about people's information being used to train these LLMs that have nothing, and nothing will come back to you. You won't get no you won't get no compensation. So yeah, for the family that's out there, do the research on open source and do the research on local models. That is the only thing that you should be building right now. Do not connect to the data centers. Do not connect to their cloud. Try your best to not even connect to their GPUs and whatnot. You want to build your own right now, though, not next year, not 5 years, because it's not going to be available. You will not have the advantage. You have the advantage now. Take it or lose it.
Mhm.
So, Brother Anthony, let's just get practical. How did you learn how to build that model?
Well, going back to my expert, Brother Red Pill, I just went to the LLM. You can choose the one of your choice. For me, it was ChatGTP,
Mm-hmm.
and I took whatever I wanted and shared it with. You got prompt is everything, as
Mm-hmm.
Brother Red Pill will tell you. So you put the proper prompt in, and you let the LLM know exactly what you want to
Mm-hmm.
build, and you give them a model of what you want to
Right.
build, and then you let them do the work.
Right.
And
You
then
let AI help you build AI.
right, and so you can continue. I mean, you can go as Brother Red Pill damn near forever on building things because it never stops, man.
Right.
I can continue to prompt it, to continue to tell it what I want. And now, what you build won't be similar to what I build because I'm giving different prompts to the
Mm-hmm.
LLM than you are. So I'm building something specific to what I asked for, and that's how the end results was what I built.
Absolutely. And so, in terms of the businesses that I do, how I've been using AI, I've been using AI for over a year now, for different websites that I have. But like something like Herbal Results, where I might need a functionality of, like, let's say, I need to add. I'll give an example, because to give people real life examples, because sometimes when people talk technology, for other people's, like, you're speaking a foreign language. So I want to give a real life example. So for instance, I have customers from all over the world, right? And when people would buy, particularly from the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico, there's a problem in the systems where the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico does not appear as part of the United States, right? So what would happen is that whenever someone would order from Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands, the system would see it as an international order. Why does this matter? It matters because international orders have a different flat fee for shipment because I can't use the US Postal Service. Let me just break this down for y'all. So when someone orders from, let's say, Hawaii, which is separate, from the continental US, the United States Post Office will ship there, but United States Post Office has priority flat rate. So let's just say priority flat rate box costs $20, right? Well, I can ship to Hawaii from Florida for $20, even though Hawaii is really far away or Alaska is really far away. I'm paying the same amount of money to ship to Hawaii as I pay to ship to Georgia if I use flat rate USPS. This is very important. So for me, if Hawaii was an international destination, I'd have to use FedEx or even USPS International, where the price could be double or even triple, just because it's tagged as international, right? So the advantage that you get for using USPS flat rate, you save a lot of money as long as that state or that territory is seen as part of the US. So it's not seen as international, because international, you get different money, even if it's a shorter distance, as long as it's international. So for instance, it's a shorter distance from Miami to Puerto Rico than it is from Miami to Oregon, right? But if it's international, like to Cuba or something like that, from Miami, which is a very short distance, from like Miami to Cuba is like 50 miles in the water, right? Whereas from Miami to New York, it's 1,000 miles. Well, I'll pay cheaper to ship from Miami to New York than I would Miami to Cuba, just because Cuba is seen as an international destination. I'm paying international. I'm basically getting taxed for shipping to another country. This is very important. And anyone knows that, like, if you fly from Miami to Jamaica, it's like an hour and something flight. Miami to Haiti is like, I think it was like 45 minutes from Miami to Haiti. Like it's a short flight, but it's international, right? So you pay more just because it's international, not for the distance. So it's very important. So when people were ordering from Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, if the system, what do I mean by the system? If the shipping system online sees that as an international destination, I'm paying more for shipping, a lot more for shipping. So what I had to do is that I had to change the internal shipping structure of Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico to make it part of the United States, because on most of the drop downs when you're shipping, Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands would be left out of the 50 states, or Guam would be left out of the 50 states, because it's a territory, but it's still part of the United States, and the United States Postal Service ships there. So what you have to do is you have to hack the system and forcibly put VI and Puerto Rico and Guam as part of the United States. So you have to actually do a whole different script to include that and include it to save money on shipping, not just for you or your customers, because on Herbal Results, we have a $32 flat fee to ship anywhere in the world. So whatever you order, you know, if you're in India, Ukraine, Russia, you pay $32 flat fee. Whereas to ship to the United States, it's $8 if you order one thing, and it's free shipping if you order 2 or more things, right? So it's very important for my VI customers, because, you know, I used to live in VI, so a lot of people know me in the Virgin Islands. A lot of people know Herbal Results, so we get a lot of orders. So now imagine someone from the United States Virgin Islands having to pay $32 more for shipping when they're actually part of the United States, because we're shipping from the United States. So they should get the benefits of the free shipping, right? Or the flat rate shipping that's lower, that's domestic, right? Because what was happening is that my Virgin Islands customers and my Puerto Rican customers were being unjustly penalized for international shipment when they actually have the United States Postal Service that also delivers there. All right, so check this out. I was able to go to Grok, which is just like ChatGPT, and I said, write me a code that allows the VI and Puerto Rico to be included into United States shipping. And it wrote me a code, what's called a code snippet, that you put into your WordPress that forces Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico to be a drop down in the United States in terms of the 50 states. So it adds more of the states. So basically makes VI a state, Puerto Rico a state, and it solves the problem. But I couldn't have done that unless I hired a programmer, or and that programmer would have charged me about $600 to do it.
No question.
I was able to get it done for free on Grok.
Wow.
I just asked the prop. I told him my problem, and I said, give me, please solve this for me. He said, here's the code that you need to do. Copy and paste it and put it into your snippets. Matter was fixed within 2 minutes for free.
Yeah.
So this is what AI was able to do for me, to save me a lot of money and to save my customers a lot of money. Now, what's going on with Herbal Results and AI? Well, I get a lot of questions on the health issues through email, a lot of redundant questions, and you can do FAQs. But so right now I have a brother, a good brother, Kwajo Tukumbo, the brother who came on a couple months ago, who got a prostate cancer reversal using Herbal Results protocol. Well, he is my web genius guy, and he's using, I told him my problems, and he's now developed an AI agent that's basically a Heru AI agent for Herbal Results. What does that mean? What the agent did was it looked at all the years and the thousands of emails that I've received and how I've answered it. And basically now it has a knowledge base of how I answer emails, and it can now automatically answer emails as if it was me. And basically it was plugged into my email and it reviewed all my emails. And so now my emails will be answered, will be able, starting probably next week, whenever I get an email, instead of me personally answering the emails, because people are asking like very like serious health questions, cancer, kidney failure, this and that, but the answers are the same, right? When someone says, oh, I have kidney failure, the first thing I ask is, are you on high blood pressure medications, right? So it knows to answer the questions as if it was me. So what's going to happen now is that, one, I won't have to answer the questions, and two, my customers will receive immediate responses to their emails, instead of having to wait for me to comb through emails and answer them. So it saves me time, saves my customer time, more satisfaction for the business owner, more satisfaction for the customer, right? And this is happening in real time now. So he's also creating an Herbal Results app now for people who are doing the cancer protocol, autoimmune protocol. And the app, once you download the app, is going to remind you every day, have you taken your vitamin D? Have you taken your 2, tablets of magnesium, zinc, selenium? Have you taken your olive leaf extract? Because if we say, okay, you're going to take it morning, noon, and night, it's going to basically give you an alarm so that you're on point with the protocol. Because part of the problem with people is compliance. People say, oh, I'm too busy, or I forgot, and this and that. You're going to have an alarm on your phone, an Herbal Results alarm, and it's going to be a voice that says, have you taken your teaspoon of olive leaf extract at noon? You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be able to remind you and help you. It's basically going to be your health assistant, Herbal Results health assistant. So he's developing that right now, along with an email agent that's going to be able to answer people's emails immediately. On HeruTrades.com, he's developed what he's calling the Heru Trade Agent. And what that trade agent is that it looks at all my trades and my way of doing trades. And I'll show you all. And it combs all of the stocks in the world, and any of the stocks where their charts look like the setup that I have in terms of my trading philosophy, it gives me an alert, or it can give you an alert too. And this is for all the stocks in all the stock markets. So oh, this thing is oversold right now. It's a good time to buy an option, or a good time to front load on it. And I'm going to show you all what that looks like. And this is why this AI thing is just taking things to a new level. So as we would have it, in those people who subscribe to me on HeruTrades.com, you've gotten notices whenever I do trades. But what's going to happen is it's going to be a next level where you can actually buy this app or subscribe to this app. And it's going to tell you, instead of after I do a trade, it's going to let you know all the different setups that qualify for my criteria. So check this out. I don't have to physically analyze this anymore. So for instance, unbeknownst to a lot of people, all the AI related stocks right now are on sale. All of them are oversold right now. What do I mean by that? Remember, based on, are you all able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on first principles thinking, what do we know about finance and economics? We know that no matter what economic system you're in, whether it's capitalism, communism, socialism, whatever it is, anarcho-capitalism, crony capitalism, whatever it is, marketplace politics, is always the same thing. The immutable truth in the immutable law is buy low, sell high. Period. Okay? All right. Buy low, sell high. Well, guess what? How do you determine where the lows are? Well, there are indicators in the stock market and Forex charts that let you know when something is oversold and overbought. So oversold means that basically you're getting it on sale, that there's been selling that has hit the bottom. And you always want to buy at the bottom and sell at the top. So that's like, you know, you bought a car for $1,000 and then you sold it for $5,000, right? Or you bought a house for $100,000 and then you sold it for $500,000. You always buy low, sell high. So it turns out you have these indicators that let you know. You have EMAs, and then you also have what is called RSI, Relative Strength Index, and Stochastic. So I'm just going to show you all what's done, how what they say the sausage is made, right? So SanDisk is one of the best performing stocks. They gave you 4,000%, which is a 40x for the year, right? So of course I'm dollar cost averaging. Now, when you look at SanDisk, what do we notice? We notice, and let me put it, the range should be 1 year here, and we're looking at the daily. Now, check this out. Those of you who may be astute at looking at the charts, you're going to notice something. You're going to notice that every time price hits the blue line, it also coincides with lows. What are the lows? The lows are these little spikes down. When it hits the blue, it hits the spike down, the price pops up almost like a trampoline. Are you able to see this red pill? And Brother
Yeah.
Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so every time it hits, this is called the 50, which is the water. Those of us who trade, we have names for these different EMAs. So this EMA right here, this blue line is called the water. And we notice that the price likes to bounce off these EMAs with coinciding lows. And so anytime you see this, this is where you want to get into a call option. Other words, buy, or you want to dump money in, as long as you know that this is going to always be increasing in value. And we've identified that the AI stocks are they're the generational opportunity right now. So the AI stocks, anytime they go low, they just bounce right back up. So when you identify it, this is when you go into options. The option says that the price is going to go up and you make 10 times usually what you would make than you would just buying the stock itself. So guess what happened? You all see this? As of today, the price is on the water again. You notice how price has been going up.
Yeah.
And then it goes down. Remember, it doesn't go up all the time. It's like a wave. So it went down. It's at the blue line, y'all. And guess what? It is oversold. You see the little V at the bottom here? And then you see another bottom on the stochastic here. That means that this LLM, this agent, this trading agent that we're putting together for Heru Trades is going to alert you anytime the setup looks like this on any stock, in every stock, African stocks, Caribbean stocks, stock market, US. This is what we're going to do. And you're going to notice that they all coincide. Watch this. The other one was MU, right? Micron. Watch
Right.
this. Let's look at Micron's chart. What do you notice, Brother Anthony?
Wow.
What do you notice? Micron is on the water
Mm-hmm. Right.
with the bottom. Stochastic bottom as well. You see that?
Right.
Buy low, sell high. It's literally telling you it's time to buy, because let's look at Micron. Every time Micron is by the water, what happens? Boom. Look at that. Water touch. Boom. Water touch. Boom. Water touch. You see that? So we're at another water touch with the low.
Right.
Boom.
Mhm.
So guess what happened? For all of the people in Heru Trades, I picked the cheapest AI, because some of these options that you buy could be like $8,000 for like the cheapest
Right.
options. So I found
Right.
some cheaper ones that are going to get the same type of growth. And so, you know, my subscribers know which ones those are. And I can tell y'all, because I already done, that's Intel and HUT. So let's go through the ones that we're dollar cost averaging. SanDisk, MU, Western Digital. So let's look at Western Digital's chart. What do you notice, Brother Anthony and Brother Phil?
Oh,
It's on the
trend.
water.
On the water.
Right.
See it? Lows.
Yep. Right.
Buy low, sell high. Every single time
Right.
you see this type of setup. Let's see the last time it hit the water. You see it? Let me make it bigger so y'all can see it. What happened to the price last time? Oh, I need to get rid of this EMA. Let me get rid of it.
It's time to
I need
buy,
to get
baby.
rid of. Yeah, I want to get rid of some of this stuff that's blocking the
Right.
view. I'll figure it out. But the view's being
Right.
blocked. All these EMAs don't need to. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'd like to get rid of this one too. Let me see how I can get rid of this, because I don't need this to be shown, because it's getting in. When you click the X, it doesn't go away. It's getting in the way of the. I'm trying to see if I get rid of it. Okay, I'll find out how to get rid of it, but you all can see it. What I'll do is I'll move it this way. Okay. Do you see this? You see the last time it hit the water with the low? Boom. Price goes up. Last time it did again. You see where it hit the water here? You'd have wanted to get into the trade here. You'd have wanted to front end here, because what happened? Price went up crazy. So what you see is you see a trampoline effect. That's what I call it. Y'all tuning in, y'all getting the new lingo. This is what I call the trampoline effect. This is what we call it at Heru Trades. Boom, trampoline. Hit the water, hit the bottom, boom. Guess where we're at? It hit the water again. We can expect to see another bounce up. So this is basically where AI stocks right now, as we speak, for those of you all tuned in, AI stocks are on sale as of today. Okay? I'm just letting y'all know. Do what you move accordingly, but this is where I eat. It's buy low, sell high, first principles. We're at a low right now. So
Say less, my
so
brother.
this is where you hit your buys,
Right.
because every time it looks like this, it bounces back up.
Right.
Let's go to another one.
We'll bounce up. That's right.
Let's go to Seagate, STX.
Same trend.
Oh, let's look. Let's confirm. Ah, look at Seagate. You can't make this up.
Hey,
Look at the
brother,
last time it did that.
I don't know about
last
you,
time
brother
it
Red
was-
Pill, but I got them all, man. It's time to pour.
Let's
in.
look at how beautiful Seagate looks.
Right.
Now that you know what to look, you see when people look at charts, if you're not taught right, it just looks like you can't make sense of it, right? Now I'm showing you all how to look at it. Do you see the trend? You see the upward trend? All these candlesticks are the price.
Right.
What happens every time the candlesticks hit the water with corresponding lows, which is the V's at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Price just goes up like a trampoline.
Well, that's right.
Trampoline, trampoline. Where are we at right now? We're at the trampoline. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, y'all are getting this information for free. This type of information people pay tens of thousands of dollars for. I'm just letting y'all know, professional stock traders, they pay professional Forex, they pay tens of thousands of dollars a month. That Bloomberg terminal, how Bloomberg became a billionaire, He's giving you stock news and all of this, blah, 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 blah. People are paying a subscription of $10,000, $50,000 a month just to get this information, which y'all are getting for free.
That is a fact.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now, I was blown away in 2020 when I had a friend of mine and she was working for Bloomberg and she had access to the terminal. And she just showed me what it was doing. And I was like, wow, I you know what I mean? And, you know, just the access, how the access was limited. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind, you know?
Yeah. So this is what's going on. And notice that all the AI stocks are doing the same thing. Take note of that. Now, let's go to the other AI stock that Hut. This is the one that I got an option in last week. So I'm sitting down just waiting. I got an option in Hut last week, right here. You see it's on the water? With the low, I got in right here, y'all. I'm just waiting, and I'll be collecting money as it goes right back up, as it did last time. You see, it's uncanny. When it hits the water, it likes to just bounce up. It uses the water as a trampoline. We are at the trampoline, y'all. Imagine someone bouncing up a trampoline, and every time they hit the high, you make the most amount of money. Well, that means that you have to get in right before or right when the person hits the trampoline. This is it right here. Okay, that's Hut. My other dollar cost average is Intel. And I got options on Intel anyone who's my subscribers knows this. Last week was an Intel option and a Hut option. And I might get some more today or tomorrow because it hasn't bounced up yet. Y'all see it? See where Intel is? This is uncanny. Every single AI stock looks like this right now. Okay? You can't say that Brother Anthony, Brother Red Pill, and myself, by making this public and streaming on all of our stations, you can never say we don't love y'all. Y'all can't say that because we're giving you heads up before things take off on a large scale in terms of AI and on a small scale in terms of when the bounce is about to happen, y'all. And y'all can check with me in the next month or so as to what happened. Okay? But look at this. That's the low. It's a low right here. Okay? So all of these stocks are looking the same in terms of their setups. This is what I like to see. And we're going to be coming with an app that you can subscribe to that will let you know when not just AI stocks, but any stock in the world has this type of setup. It's very valuable. I haven't priced it yet, what I should price it at, but I'm feeling like, why the hell should Bloomberg make all the money? He's not even giving you this type of information. Bloomberg is not giving you this type of information. They're not this quality. They're giving you a lot of news and gossip and like the terminals and this and that. They're not giving you the technical analysis that you need. And you don't even have to do technical analysis. What it's going to tell you is the AI agent is going to tell you Intel looks ready. That's what it's going to say. Intel looks ready for a buy. That's all you need to know. And that's what we're going to tell you. Okay, so that AI app is going to be available probably in the next 30 days for y'all. That, you know, you can do what you want with that information. There'll be a subscription fee for that as well. So Heru Trades is a subscription fee for the trades that I actually do. So it's like real time. So when I do the trade, you get notices. But this app that I'm going to be giving y'all for a subscription will let you know every trade that looks right in terms of the setup. And then you can choose what you want to do. Because it's not every trade that I'm going to get into, but it's just I'm letting you know the ones that I've actually done. But I'm also aware that there are thousands more stocks or other positions that look ready, and then you can make your choice from there. But it's going to let you know that it fit all of Heru's criteria for trading, and the choice is yours at that point. So you have both options. You can do the Heru Trade subscription, or you can do the Heru AI trading bot subscription. that lets you know when something is ready. And it's going to be helpful for me because I can't scour all the charts all the time, right? There's a million stocks, and this is going to let me know in real time what's ready and what's not. Okay. So that's very exciting. So this is how I'm using AI to make money off of AI, right? This is what Brother Anthony's doing in his legal practice. He's using AI to make money off of AI, right? So that's what it is. And so y'all just got some game just now with some real stocks that look like they're ready, and you should be able to double your money at least. With trading today, whatever you put in today, probably in the next 30 to 60 days, I can't guarantee it because anything can happen, but I'm just telling you, this will be a way for you to double your money. Okay? I'm just giving y'all game. This is free game. You know why? I got love in my heart, man. I had a great trip to London. I'm back. Everything's feeling good, man. It's deep into mango season. You know, those who receive a lot of love are able to give a lot of love. You understand? So I just want to say I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just love in the air, man. So this is the information and y'all are getting it. Now let's look at these African stocks. Okay, Tanisha Thomas says, can you give thoughts on Dangote Cement? Yeah, Dangote Cement. Oh, he says the stocks again. Please put them in the chat. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to like double task, but I'll name the stocks, man. What I'm dollar cost averaging, the good AI stocks is, listen, I'm dollar cost averaging SanDisk, Brother Ayatoro, SanDisk, MU, which is Micron, Hut 8, Western Digital, Seagate, Intel, AMD, and Marvell. So I'm dollar cost averaging 8 stocks. What does that mean? Every single week. So 6 of them every week, I make a buy. 2 of them every day, I make a buy. That's AMD and Intel. So every day, I buy stock on AMD and Intel every day. And I'll be doing this for the next 5 years, every day and every week. Okay. And we've already gone over the dollar cost averaging calculator and what that looks like. Okay. Yep. iToro, that's it. Yep. Western Digital, SanDisk, MU, Hut 8. Yeah. Seagate, Intel, and Marvell. Is that 8 of them? I think you named Western Digital twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one that's missing. Oh, no, you got Seagate, Intel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, you did Western Digital twice. Let me find out the one that's missing. Just so you all can get the correct information. I'm just telling you all what I'm dollar cost averaging. So we got SanDisk, Micron, MU, Western Digital, Seagate, AMD, you name that, Intel, you name that, Marvell, and Hut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I've seen Western Digital twice, so why would that be 8? What's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9. You put 9 there. Okay, yeah. So Western Digital's twice, but yeah, anyone could look at what Ayatoro just put up, and that's what I'm dollar cost averaging, and that is what I'm looking for to hit options on. Okay, because we know that AI is going up. Remember, we started the show letting you know that Dana White sits on the board of Meta, which is Facebook, and he told you that they just hired 10 people. And this is for the people who tuned in late. So let me just do this for the people who tuned in late to show you why Red Pill is always talking about AI and that he's ahead of the curve. So I'm about to show y'all this. Some of y'all tuned in late. So this is what y'all need to know, why AI is so serious and why you need to get your coins together and understand that AI opportunity in terms of investment is just like, Google in 1994, Amazon in 2000, electric vehicles, Tesla in 2012 and 2015, Bitcoin in 2011. These are disruptive technologies. And the way that you prove it is the demand for people who are working in that area. And I'm about to share this with y'all. Again, because we did this at the beginning of the show, and I know there's some people tuned in late. Listen to this, y'all. This is for the people who are all in. I know we have over, we have hundreds of people tuned in right now. And I want y'all to see this. This is how wealthy people get down. They sit on each other's boards of their companies, okay? So Dana White, even though he's not a tech person, he's the head of the UFC, but he sits on Meta's board. And he just gave up some real serious information that he doesn't even realize he gave up. But for investors, this is important. Here we go. Are you able to see this red pill?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
So Meta AI, I'm on the board for Meta. I just got back from a Meta board meeting. Zuckerberg, who is a brilliant gangster, this guy is a gangster. These people who try to talk about him and everything else. I'm so blown away and impressed by this guy. He's an animal. And putting all the chips in on AI. We just hired like 10 kids that are aged 22 to 28. The average salary is like $65 million that these kids are making.
Did you all hear that? They just hired 10 kids between 22 and 28. Let me get the ages right again. But the number is $65 million average salary.
10 kids that are aged 22 to 28. The average salary is like $65 million that these kids are making that are coming and working on AI. But AI, you hear a lot of negativity about AI. There's way more positives about AI than negative.
Okay. So he just gave y'all the goods just now. No company is going to pay anyone $65 million, let alone 10 people who are between 22 and 28 years old, $65 million, if what they're doing is not going to give a return on investment. Please understand this, is that in our communities, this is why we need to start having adults in the room, okay? What we're having today, what we're having every week, is we're having adult conversations. What do I mean by that? You see, adults have different conversations than kids. When people talk about money, particularly in the Black world, they're usually talking about entertainers and athletes, right? So people talk about, LeBron James is going to sign a contract for $30 million this year, right? And everyone's so impressed. 30 million, 40 million. Wow, LeBron James. And so the kids are seeing this, and my dream is to become a basketball player, or my dream is to become a football player, or my dream is to become an actor, or my dream is to become a rapper, because the rappers got money and this and that, right? Listen, y'all, there are 22 to 28-year-olds making $65 million a year. I want you all to put this in perspective. I want you to imagine your child who studied AI a couple years ago because they saw that this was interesting and they saw where the world was going to go. So they started studying AI. And then your child calls you and says, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, I just got hired by Meta." You say, "Oh, congratulations. What type of salary they giving you?" And your child tells you, "Oh, I'm making $65 million a year." What is your response? What is your response? Your child is making $65 million a year, and this child is only 23 years old because they decided to study technology. They're not out on the football field getting CTE and losing their memory and getting, brain damage. They're not up and down running a basketball court every day. They're not, an entertainer that's basically a clown in terms of Black entertainers in America, or get rewarded for being clowns and being anti their people. These people, You never will even know this child. You'll never know this person. They'll be in the grocery store right next to you, and this person's making 65, not 65,000, not 650,000, not 6.5 million. They're making $65 million a year in an industry. And if that industry can afford to pay people $65 million a year, what type of windfall are they waiting to get? And if you are not investing right now, you're losing. If you're not getting your chips into AI right now, you're losing. This is the reality. AI workers are being paid $65 million a year. Imagine what they expect is going to happen to the stock price. See, this is why people tune in every week to this show, because you're getting information that you normally don't get, because my X account is curated. I get health and wealth information before people get it.
Mine too.
I get to say, you're wasting your time on Facebook most of the time and Instagram. It's a complete waste of time. I'm just telling you all this right now. The movers and the shakers are on X. You want to follow people who are movers and shakers in this world, not someone who's posting selfies. My X account is curated to people in the financial industry, people in the tech industry, people in the medical and healing industry, and people in the science and math community, like people who win Nobel prizes, and people who win the Fields Medal in mathematics, which is the equivalent to Nobel. I follow these people. I follow mathematical physicists. My feed, that's why I don't know what's going on in terms of entertainment and pop culture and all of that. Red Pill told me Jay-Z had a concert. I didn't even know Jay-Z was still popular. That's what I asked him. He said this weekend he went to a Jay-Z 3-day concert, and I was like, oh, okay. He's still popular? And the reason is that I'm completely in the dark, whether that's good or bad. I just don't get that type of news, because my feeds on social media is I follow people like Mark Andreessen, who's a big investor, and he tells you everything that's happening. I follow Chamath Palihapitiya. I follow these people who are investors who are always looking for the next thing, and people who've made billions of dollars investing correctly over the years. So I follow them. I hear what they're saying. I hear their analysis, and I just report it back to you. And then I look at the charts to see what's going on. This is how I'm doing what I'm doing. And what I'm saying to y'all is that you can do the same thing. Curate your social media so that you're getting firsthand information from real people who are doing real things. When you're on Facebook, you're usually getting posts from friends of yours from the last 20 years. And your friend could be a bum, but you're getting their opinion on the world. Does that matter? And then you end up into arguments with people about celebrities and all types of things that don't matter. They don't push the needle. Those of y'all who are tuned into this right now, y'all are looking for something different. You don't want to be inundated with celebrity news. You don't want to be inundated with athletic news, sports news, and this and that. It doesn't matter. Unless you own the team, unless you own the Lakers, who cares? That's the point that I'm saying. Start getting into ownership. Buying stocks allows you to own a part of a company, and you appreciate in the value, and you make generational wealth in your sleep. This is the conversation for adults. I want to have an adult conversation all the time. The things that's distracting us and wasting our time is giving us no return on investment for our time. Those of you who tune in every single week to this show, you're getting a return on investment for your time. Any single thing that you do, by the time you hit 40 and up, you should be looking at every single thing you do should be giving you a return on investment for your time and your money. And if it's not, get it out of your life. You'll find that you have a more peaceful life, less fuddled thoughts, less conversations that are meaningless, and you scroll right past what's not important. Because these celebrities and these athletes you like to follow, they got their money, and most of them about to lose it because they don't know what to do with it. So what you need to do is figure out what your come up is going to be. But your come up cannot be wasting time. because we all have a limited amount of time on this earth. And the health part is for us to be able to expand the amount of time that we have, and not just expand the amount of time, but also the quality of life. That's why we do health results on Mondays, because there's no point in having wealth without health and having a short lifespan. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to conquer the two biggest problems in life, which is health and wealth. And every week we're dropping dimes on y'all. Every week we're dropping dimes on y'all. And so if you're not paying attention, then that's fine. But those who are paying attention understand that you're setting yourself up for generational wealth. And this is what we're doing. And there's no way better to do it than actually following what's being said. The people who are on HeruTrades.com, they're making money. The stocks may go down, but eventually it goes up. The options have an expiration date. That's a year out. So you got a year. Remember, I'm buying when it's low. I'm getting these options when it's low. Sometimes they'll drop a little lower, but we're waiting for the trampoline effect. You make double, triple, 10 times your money, you cash out. Call it a day. Rinse and repeat. That's what we're doing. Dollar cost average. Take 20% of your income. Invest that. I'm not saying do 80% or 100. I'm just saying, me, I do more than 20% because I'm aggressive. But every single person should be taking 20% of their income and investing it. However you want to invest it. I'm picking AI stocks because I understand that that's what's taking off, and people are getting paid $65 million a year to work in AI. And Red Pill is spending all of his time trying to train us and getting us in classes and getting us associated with the people who know how to do these things, and you can understand the language at least and not be lost. And please understand that, you know, you got to really big up what Red Pill is doing. I'm not just saying it because we're on this right now, but you got to salute him because many times we are behind the curve as a community. When it comes to stocks, when it comes to technology, when it comes to these things, we're late. How many years did I tell people to buy Bitcoin from 2011 when Bitcoin was under $100 and I was steady buying Bitcoin? And now Bitcoin is about $70,000. We're telling you the same thing right now. He's putting training classes together for y'all. I'm setting you up for investments. So the bottom line is that we're doing our part. All you got to do is just do yours and spread the words. We're doing our part. I'm happy with what we're doing with this show. I'm happy that me and Red Pill and Brother Anthony Muhammad are showing y'all, hey, this is what we're doing. Y'all can do the same. We're giving you trainings. We're giving you investment. We're showing you that people are getting paid $65 million a year to master what Red Pill is training you all on. So Red Pill, what we want to do is talk about your classes again, because I need this to be clear. When you're going to be holding your next classes, what are people going to learn? All of that, so that conversations about AI doesn't sound like a foreign conversation to people.
Right.
So you get used to the language. This is the first step to understanding. You got to get used to the language and the nomenclature and the lingua and all of that. And what Red Pill is going to do is get you accustomed to that. So Red Pill, please talk about your classes that people can get in on.
Thank you, my good brother. And this is perfect timing because we actually have workshops today. We have a workshop today. And the title of this workshop is called Get Built, right? And the Get is GIT. It's a play on GitHub. And what we're doing is we're helping our brothers and sisters build out their quote unquote, their repos, their repositories. So if you have an idea, if you've been working on an idea, if you have a brilliant idea, whether it be an app, a website, or some type of solution and whatnot, we have the workshop where you could basically get that built out. Okay. And not only get it built out, you can also have it put on your GitHub. Other people will be exposed to it. You'll be able to get inside of a new community that's filled with devs, developers, engineers, and people that are inside of the AI space. If you were to ever go public, or if you were to meet with investors, you would have to have a GitHub repository. If you're not on GitHub, they're gonna look at you like you literally, it's almost like saying I trade stocks. and you don't have a broker, you know what I mean? They're like, what's Robinhood? They're gonna be like, all right, exit the room, please. Get this person out of here because they're obviously a fraud. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We have KT aliens that are part of our program, and every time we get with them, they blow us away. We also have a program called Summer School, and throughout the week we go live and we build, and we have like a 1 hour to a 2 hour session where the students are teaching and they're showing their work and whatnot. Because one of the great things about AI is it's a real hands-on type of thing. When you see somebody building out, similar to when you're showing us the charts and you're literally, because trading could be intimidating, but you're showing us your back office, you're showing us the charts, you're showing us how you do these things. Now people could basically just copy what you do and learn that way. It's almost similar with the AI. It could be intricate, it could be somewhat intimidating for someone that knows zero about it. But when you come inside of our workshop and when you come inside of our school community, you will gain confidence every single time, because you will see brothers and sisters literally building out powerful tools, powerful apps in real time. And they'll let you know that they didn't have to sit in school for years to learn this. This is something that they were able to do with pure willpower, sheer willpower and imagination. Shout out to the Imaginarium. But yeah, I'll drop the link for the workshop inside of the chat right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to having you in the building, because the more people that we're able to educate, the more powerful and the more successful and the more wealthy we are as a collective.
I got a question for you, Red Pill.
Yes, sir.
What made you decide to go so hard on this AI and spread it to the people?
When I saw results, I'm about results. I was becoming bored. I was becoming somewhat disenfranchised with speculation consciousness. But when I realized that this was kinetic and I could basically do things and show proof of work, then it began to gain my interest. And I'm also like a nerd from back in the days and whatnot. And it basically, I was able to do things with it. Well, let me backtrack. There was an app called Lensa in December of 2023, where they basically had you upload your pictures, and those pictures turned into like an AI image, right? So this was my first exposure to image generation, and I was blown away because I literally woke up from a dream where I saw a vision of myself looking super like Afrofuturistic. I wake up, I go scrolling, and I run into the app. I upload my pictures, and then the image that is sent back was similar to the one in my dream. So right away, it really caught my attention, and that sent me down a rabbit hole. And I've been teaching, I've been sharing, and I've been basically disrupting ever since. You know what I mean? And now I'm joined by an entire network of brothers and sisters that are sheer geniuses. Shout out to brother Hit Sayu. Shout out to Spin City. Shout out to Human. Shout out to Giant. Shout out to brother Malik. There's so many names that I could call out of brothers who have picked up Mansa Isa Muhammad. So many people who have picked up the mantle, and they're doing great things. And we're greater together than we are separate.
Absolutely. And like that's key what brother Red Pill said, because in our communities and online, there's big conversations about like separations and who's this and who's that and who's not this and who's that, and all of it is a psyop. Because let me just tell you about division. Division as a mathematical concept seeks to go to zero, whereas multiplication seeks to go to infinity mathematically. So therefore, those who are not talking about uniting all of our efforts, and they want to divide us, those people want us to go to zero. Because what you're going to find out with the people who want Black division, like within our people globally, they're going to be divided even amongst themselves, because it doesn't stop. See, division seeks to go to zero. So even if you want to say, and we've seen it, we've seen East Coast versus West Coast. We've seen North versus South, right? Even in the hip hop world, right? You see it. You see Crips
Blood
versus
versus
Blood. You see Blackstone, Peace Stone Rangers in Chicago versus, GDs and this and that. And what I'm trying to tell you is, and then on the continent, you see Igbo versus Yoruba.
Yeah.
Ashanti versus Ewe and this and that. It doesn't work, y'all. You see what's going on in South Africa right now, where you had South Africans talking about getting other Africans out of Africa. Right now, so folks left, and right now those same South Africans are fighting amongst themselves now. Now it's Zulu versus this group. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't stop.
It don't stop.
You see, and this is part of the black box thing that I talk about, which we probably will cover next week, because what the black box is that whenever an airplane crashes, the only thing that survives is a black box. And that black box has what they call telemetry data in it. And you retrieve the black box, not just to retrieve the black box as an intellectual pursuit, but to actually find out what, where, and how the plane crashed, not as an intellectual pursuit, but to make sure that it never happens again. And so I have a black box. I have a black box analysis and a black box solution for globally black folks. I'll introduce it pretty soon, right? I have some pieces together, but basically it's using first principles thinking to solve the problem. So first principle thinking is, what is the mutable truths of the upward progression of any people, or the downward digression of a people? That's the first thing that first principles thinking asks you to do. What are the mutable truths of a problem set? And then two, what are the limiting factors? And usually there's one or two limiting factors. And I'm going to tell you the two limiting factors in terms of our people. Okay? And we're going to address those head on. And when you all see it, you all understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I just haven't discussed it yet. I laid out the infrastructure, and anyone who takes part of it, you're going to always outperform, be advanced, and your children are going to have a superior life than other people, because we're addressing the black box that has not been addressed. What are the limiting factors that have kept us behind? Because anywhere you go in the world, wherever black folks are, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. I've traveled and I've seen this. In even countries that are run by black politicians, the people running the money system, like in South Africa, the head of the South African central banks has typically been Boers, which are the Dutch-descended Europeans who instituted apartheid. They still run the central banks of South Africa.
Facts.
When you go to West Africa and East Africa, the people running commerce, when I was looking to do business in Tanzania, in terms of renting warehouses to put up manufacturing facilities, the only people I spoke to was Indians and Arabs. Okay? The people running the economies. You go to Jamaica, the people running the economy is Syrians and Lebanese. Everywhere we go, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. You go to America, black neighborhoods, who's running most of the businesses? It ain't black folks. So we have a shared history that is keeping us in a certain place because we have not addressed the black box. And if you refuse to address the black box of why your plane crashed, your plane is going to keep crashing. And so we're going to find out easily how to identify people who are feeding into the crashing of the black box. And division is one of those things. And we're going to place it in a way where it becomes a way of life to address the black box. And there's two issues that I'm going to address probably next week. It's two issues that caused our black box, our planes to crash. And when you solve for these two issues, you have nothing but prosperity globally amongst our people. And we have refused to address this. There's a book called 2000 Seasons, y'all. Y'all should read it by Aikwe Arma. Everyone should read it. It should be required reading. There's a chapter called Ostentatious Cripples. You all should read that. I'm not even going to go deeper into it, but read 2000 Seasons. There's a chapter called Ostentatious Cripples. Okay? And so we're going to address the black box, and we're going to address how I'm instituting a solution for it. If you want to deal with it, you can deal with it. If you don't, you don't. But there's no other way. because first principles thinking is first. Just like if you want to solve space travel, you got to solve the reusable rockets problem. If you can only blast a rocket one time and you can't use it again, space travel becomes very expensive. So until you solve for rockets coming back and landing and you can use them over again, you can never have space travel that's actually meaningful. Imagine if you can only have an airplane, you can only fly it once from, like I just flew from London to America. Imagine if you could only use that plane one time, how expensive a plane ticket would be. First principles thinking solves problems very quickly. And we're going to use first principles thinking as a comprehensive approach to solve our problems globally. And then you'll be able to realize who's actually going to cause our plane to crash, because what they're doing is they're feeding into the telemetry data that caused our plane to crash. And you'll be able to identify them right away. That means that once you understand this, when you hear people talking a certain way, you just leave them alone, because they're going to cause our plane to crash. And you see people talking another way, that's who you go to, because they're addressing the two limiting factors of what kept us from rising as a people. And I'm just going to address it. So it is what it is, y'all. Next week, I'll probably will address it. But in the short term, Brother Red Pill got some workshops going on. And it's the Get Built. And he's put it in the chat for the people on YouTube. Red Pill, can you share the page of the Eventbrite so I can share it on the screen for those people who aren't on YouTube?
Yes, right there where you see Copper Moon. Shout out to Copper Moon. That's one of my mods. You can click on that, and that will be the link to the Eventbrite.
Okay, no, but I'm saying that there's people on Facebook, there's people on X.
Okay.
They can't see. So what I want you to do is share it, the screen on your, like right now. So I can
share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen for the invitation.
Yes, sir.
As you all can tell, I'm riled up. I'm always like this, like internally, because I only want to be with winners. And I know the conversations of losers. And I know the habits of losers. And I only want to surround myself with winners. So if we're going to develop a winning team, there's certain traditions, habits that we're going to be engaged in on a daily basis. If you want to win. Now I don't see it yet, Red Pill.
I'm coming right now.
And let's see if there's any comments or questions we need to highlight. Yeah, 2000 Seasons, that's the book, written by Aikwe Arma. You should read the whole book, but there's a chapter called, in the writing of the book is the highest level of writing I've ever seen. It's one of my favorite books, 2000 Seasons. You get to understand our story globally. But there's a chapter called Ostentatious Cripples. Yes, Stan, 2000 Seasons by Aikwe Arma. It should be required reading. Let me just scroll up some more. Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, people made some good comments. But let's just see if we got any questions here. Anybody got any questions? Just tap in with the questions. All right, Red Pill got it up.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Get Built. Yes, this is our workshop right here called Get Built. All right.
And probably what they can do is you can just go to eventbrite.com and then search Get Built, right? And it'll pop up.
Yes.
So that's an easy way for people to do it.
That's a very easy way to just put Get Built in there.
GIT Built.
GIT, which is a play on GitHub. The new hub for the future billionaires in our community. I promise you, when I tell you that GitHub is the place to be, you know what I mean? And yeah, the opportunities are just waiting for you. But you'll be able to read a breakdown about what this whole thing is about. And we're looking for people with tech skills, creative skills, business skills, marketing skills, content skills, design skills, fitness discipline, and the ability to drive to learn, and the ability to contribute consistently. This is not for the weary. This is not for the lazy. This is not for the non-enthusiasts. This is for people who are looking for a community and a network to basically just 10x what it is that they're already doing. Okay. We want to build, ladies and gentlemen. We want to complete our projects. We don't want to have it sitting in our hard drive. We don't want to get halfway there. We want to finish. This is a marathon. So we want to finish our race. And we'll be able to do that very quickly by having a network of people who are on the same page that we are on. So yes, please go and check out the Eventbrite page. The information there is enough to basically share and convince you, and to just to help you with your understanding and overstanding as to what it is that you'll be getting involved with. And this is for 4 weeks. It's all recorded, so if you miss a week, you'll have access to all of the weeks in the replay, and you'll also have access to our school community, and we have a Discord as well. Okay.
Very, 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 very strong admiration for what you're doing, my brother. And he's been doing this before it was cool and hip to do it. And look, he's setting up systems that even if your children are not going to be entrepreneurs, they're set up to get a salary of $65 million a year by understanding this. Yeah. Like, this is real. I mean, you can't thank Red Pill enough for at least setting a pathway for our people to get into this opportunity that exists. You saw Dana White say it. They just hired 10, he said, kids, 22 to 28, with an average salary of $65 million a year. Okay? So
and
it is what it is.
Being a board member, right? I'm sorry to cut you, but
no, go ahead, bro.
The importance of that, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, he's on the board, so the board they explain to the board why they're spending so much. You're not going to be on the board of a company and they're hiring people for 65 million and you don't know what they contribute. Zuckerberg has to give the board the 10-year plan or the 5-year plan. They have to see the end game, right? And once they see that, then they're like, oh yeah, we're good. We already know what's coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? So, I don't want y'all working for nobody, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to work for yourself. I want you to be able to create your own payroll and to hire your own people and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because that's very important. But for those of us who want to chase a new bag and get a new stream of income, yeah, you could go ahead and pop out.
Yep. And so someone just asked, so give thanks, Brother Red Pill. Y'all know, just go to Eventbrite and put in GIT. And what was it? Get what? It was
Get built.
Get built. GIT space built. And it'll pop up and you all can sign up for it and get into this AI conversation. Someone says, utilizing dollar cost averaging, which is DCA, gratitude. Good. I'm glad you're utilizing it. It says, any thoughts on stocks that may have strong short-term yield? Example, some of the oil companies over the last. So when you're buying stocks, my brother Julian, when you're buying stocks, you don't want to do any short-term anything. Anytime you're buying stocks and you're DCAing, you're buying something that has a long-term trajectory thread where you're looking to hold for 5 to 10 years. This is the way that you get rich slowly. So you don't want to do any short-term anything when you're talking about DCA because things happen. Now, if you're reading charts in terms of technical analysis, you can start looking at where the lows are and get in on that for short term. So I have stock options right now on oil companies and oil and what have you. Now, what's really interesting is that was based on what you call fundamental analysis in the news, but oil has now hit a new low. So we expect it to go right back up, which it's doing literally right now. But as an investor, I would tell you there's a difference between an investor and a trader. Trader is short term. That means that you need to know how to read the charts. Do not trade if you don't know how to read the charts, like how I was breaking down the lows, stochastic, RSI. You need to know all that. If that stuff is news to you, like other words, if it's something that you've never heard before, do not do short-term trading. You need to know, like, and be comfortable with what I was saying. But you don't need to know any of that stuff if you're dollar cost averaging. And when you're dollar cost averaging, please understand it's for 5 to 10 year period. All right. So that's very important distinction to make. Never invest short term. Always invest looking at 5 to 10 years. So when I was buying Bitcoin and dollar cost averaging in 2011, when it was below $100, I was dollar cost averaging. So every week I was just buying Bitcoin, buying a piece of Bitcoin, buying. And then over time, you start accumulating as the price goes up. But it's a 5 to 10 year horizon, right? So I was buying Bitcoin really almost every week until like 2021. That's what I was doing because I had a 10-year horizon. So everything you're doing should have a 5 to 10 years. It's called get rich slowly, but it's safer to do it that way. Okay. But those of us, if you have a little money to play with, you can do options, you can do Forex and stuff like that. You can, but you have to know how to read the charts for the short-term price movement. Short-term is really less than a year. Okay. That's trading. Investing is holding on for 5 to 10 years. And some people hold on for 100 years. There's some people who've been like I always tell the story of the white guy I met at the beach years ago, whose family has been dollar cost averaging Coca-Cola since the 1950s. And he owned 8 million shares because his family, when his grandfather died, it was given to his, inheritance to his father. His father continued the same tradition and gave it to his 3 children. And this guy was one of them, and he owned 8 million shares. And, this was in 2003 when I met the guy at the beach in Miami. He had 8 million shares. And right now, Coca-Cola is $80 a share. So he owns $640 million worth of Coca-Cola stock. The guy was damn near a billionaire if he held on to that stock, which he said that's just what they do. He said he don't even drink Coca-Cola, but they just dollar cost average Coca-Cola. So I'm sure he owns way more than 8 million shares now because it's just a tradition in the family. That's something that we can start doing too as a tradition, dollar cost averaging. So let your children start dollar cost averaging, pick some good companies, and they don't have to just be American companies. It can be companies in different parts of the world. Like I've shown you all, the African company, particularly Clydestone, that's doing better than SanDisk, 4,000%. I'm going to share that real quick. I haven't gotten the chance to buy more Clydestone stock because I've been traveling internationally, but I will be buying stock today and tomorrow. And I'm getting in on the Dangote IPO. Okay. And the way you do that is with my stocks, .Africa. And a lot of people said that they've got on board. Congratulations to y'all. Y'all are entering a new part of your life where you're now an investor. It's a good feeling that you're doing something that the average person is not doing, and you're building wealth, and you're not limiting just to one country, right? And you're actually engaged in a continent that has I showed you all that out of the 10 fastest rising economies, 8 of them are African. Okay. 7 are on the continent. 1 is Guyana, which is basically, a majority black country. So that tells you something. Those are the fastest rises. That's where you want to have some investments. Okay. My stocks South Africa. I told you all I did you all can see this right here. And we're not going to stay on longer because we've been on 2 hours. I don't want to stay on too long. I want to give you all too much every week because a lot to digest. Next week, we'll be back at it. But my stocks South Africa, as you can see, remember, I just put in $20 twice. I'm up 7.8% from last week. And I only bought Clydestone, which was the best performing stock on my stocks South Africa, which covers, many different African countries. And then you can also get into the Dangote. People talking about the SpaceX IPO. I believe that the Dangote IPO, who's Dangote? He's the richest man in Africa. He started with selling rice internationally throughout the continent. And then he started with cement. So you have Dangote cement. So like when I was doing construction projects in Africa, we were buying Dangote cement. All over West Africa, the cement that people buy is Dangote cement. He's now doing oil refineries. Last week I showed you his oil refinery in Nigeria, which is expansive. You can do your own due diligence and just put in Dangote oil refinery, Nigeria, and look at the videos. And this is no joke. He's looking to do the same thing in Kenya and possibly Angola. And so strategically, what does that mean? That means that as the Straits of Hormuz is closed, y'all, where shipping is being bottlenecked in terms of oil because all of the oil refineries were in that region. Well, guess what's happening? Africa is now getting an opportunity to make a come up through refining our oil. And anyone will tell you that Nigerian crude oil is the best oil in the world. The problem is that Nigeria wasn't allowed to through colonization and Europeans taking over and dominating the industry where they were controlling the oil and they were taking all the oil out.
Yep, Exxon and them.
Yes, exactly. And Africans were not controlling it. Right now, we've got Dangote, who's now controlling the oil by refining it and hiring 10,000 black engineers, okay, for his facility in Nigeria. And he has a deal to do the same in Kenya. And if you look at the map strategically, where's Nigeria? It's on the west. What's the body of water that would be shipping from? The Atlantic Ocean. Where's Kenya? It's on the east. Where's the body of water the oil will be shipped from there? The Indian Ocean. So he's covering worldwide access to buying oil from Africa. So what does that mean? What that means is, in my opinion, the Dangote IPO is going to give you a greater return than the SpaceX IPO. But no one's telling y'all this. I'm just letting you know what it is. And what MyStocks.Africa does, you click that red button and you're able to get into the Dangote IPO before the IPO happens. And I believe it's supposed to happen in September. So right now I'm stocking up on the IPO and getting shares. I'll be doing that today, tomorrow, and Friday. I'm going to be getting Dangote IPOs and I'm just going to be sitting on it. And I'll be sitting
What's
on
the ticket?
Huh? You just go, you press the red button.
What's
there.
the ticket on the shares?
I don't know if it doesn't have a ticket yet because it's not live yet.
No, I'm saying what's the price on them?
Oh, so you're able to, all right, hold on. So this is what you can do with the Dangote IPO. When you click that red button, you apply for the IPO as an investor. But if you're already on MyStocks.Africa, you are considered a qualified investor.
Yeah.
Whereas in the United States, to be a qualified investor, you have to prove that you make $250,000 a year or have $1 million in net worth. And that's what blocks a lot of people from getting in IPOs. However, the Dangote IPO, you don't need all of that. Okay. So let me share the Dangote IPO, how you get in on the Dangote. You apply for it and you go here, you see my email there.
Yep.
Country of residence, and you can choose your subscription amount. $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, right? I'm going to be investing into this IPO. You do it, you submit the interest, and you buy it. You have your money set aside for it so that you get in shares before the IPO is even issued.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing, y'all. We are now, for the first time in history, we as a people are now set up to invest in ourselves in a very serious way. Okay, because it's so easy because of the internet. And now,
is this similar to what Garvey was doing?
Yeah, but this is actually on a whole different level than what Garvey. So let's talk about what Brother Red Pill said. So Marcus Garvey, he had the Black Star Liner, which was going to be dealing with international commerce between Black folks in the West and Black folks on the continent, because as we know, the continent is very rich in raw materials. And so anyone who was looking to do industrial work or manufacturing would be able to use the Black Star Liner to get goods from Africa and start using them in the United States and back and forth. And so he was offering people shares in the Black Star Liner shipping company. And that was a way that we were going to become wealthy together. And then they ended up imprisoning Garvey on wire fraud, saying that, you know, he was doing some things wrong with the Black Star Liner. So the Black Star Liner never got a chance to do the IPO. And this is a way that they kept us back. Okay, people need to read this history. This is the way that they kept us back from having generational wealth, by jailing Marcus Garvey so that we could not get in on the Black Star Liner IPO. He was making it readily available because in his newspapers, which black people were reading, the UNIA newspaper that black people were reading, it was actually the most popular newspaper for the black world. It was actually banned in certain colonial run countries because it was so dangerous that he was getting us to put our money together to buy stock
Super facts.
in the Black Star Liner where we were going to control shipping routes. You see, they want to be the only ones to actually get this action. So when you talking about Marcus Garvey, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. Like, Marcus Garvey was serious. It was very serious. And he was going to unite globally the black population. And they don't want that. So that's why they want to keep us fighting against each other. So that black people in America think, oh, people in Africa don't like you. And then people in Africa think, oh, black Americans don't like you. And it's actually far from the truth. Those people who don't know history might say some things, but that's not who we care about. You want to find out what are the heroes and the intelligent people who understand history saying about us. In other words, you don't go to the average person who don't have no education in Harlem to ask them what they think about Africa. You don't ask an uneducated person in Ghana what they think about people in Harlem. You ask the people who are at the top of the society and understanding our history what they think, and they all say the same thing, and they end up becoming heroes. Ask what Kwame Nkrumah thought about black folks in America. He thought that black folks in America were indispensable to our liberation as a people globally because he went to school at Lincoln University, HBCU. The Black Star of Ghana flag is a tribute to Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican who lived in New York. Come on, y'all. What I'm saying is that anytime people start talking, because there's this conversation that's taking place and people using this word, delineation. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all. It's just a fancy word for separation. It's a fancy word for division. That's against the black box, y'all. You don't understand that the whole world looks at us and they're laughing. The whole world sees us as the same person. They don't give a damn. The Chinese government, the Chinese population, the Korean government, the people who are really running things, the European countries, they look at me. They don't give a damn they don't know if I was born in Jamaica, Kingston. They don't know if I was born in Bridgetown, Barbados. They don't know if I was born in Compton. They don't know if I was born in Harlem. They don't know if I was born in Ghana, but they look at me and they see a black man. And then they have their ideas of what black people are based on our continent. And so if we don't realize that we come from the wealthiest continent on earth, and we're not looking to marshal our resources towards industrializing our continent for the self-protection and the development and the generational wealth of our people, we're playing games. We're playing games with identity politics. We're playing games with division. He doesn't like me. This person doesn't like us. But I don't even understand, like, especially, I hear this from black folks in different places, man. And I'm talking to the brothers and sisters in America who say black people in Africa don't like us. Well, I was born in Africa, and I know what black people in Africa say. And I'm telling you that black people in Africa, the people who are really serious people, love you. They tell me, how can we get more brothers and sisters in America to come to Africa to help us build and get this generational wealth together? This is what the foreign minister of Rwanda sat down and told me. He said, listen, if you black and you coming from the West, like from the Caribbean or America, your skin color is your visa. This is what he told me. He said, you can go to the embassy and get a visa with no problem just from being black. This is what he told, and I have it recorded on YouTube. And so all this propaganda, oh, these people think they're better than us. This is what's said all over. Jamaicans say this about Trinidad. People in Trinidad say it about Jamaica. I travel the world, so I hear what, like, I hear what disgruntled black folks say about other black folks based on territorialism and which plantation we were on, thinking that one's better than the other. And anyone who talks like that is the language of losers. I'm telling y'all that right now, because I don't see division between. I don't see you whether you're Jamaican, whether you're from Atlanta, whether you're from Dar es Salaam. All I want to know is, are you a winner? That's the delineation I'm doing. Winners versus losers. So the conversation is different. Winners versus losers. If you're a loser, there's conversations that you're having that I can identify. You're talking about delineation. You're talking about separation. You're talking about I'm this and they're that. And we all black together. And we're at the bottom of the totem pole in every country that we live in, because we haven't gotten our act together and we want to play identity politics with each other instead of actually uniting. You have a man who was born in Ghana. Where were you born? You were born in New York, Red Pill?
Yeah,
Where were you born? You were born in the Bronx. I'm born in Accra. He's born in the Bronx. We've gotten together to bring you all value. What could we have done if me and Red Pill are looking at each other as enemies? That I'm saying I can't do nothing with Red Pill because we're delineating. I was born in Africa. He was born in the Bronx. We can't get together because people from the Bronx don't like people from Africa. That's craziness. And if he said, I ain't gonna do nothing with nobody from Africa, so now he can't do nothing with me, and we can't get together and bring you all this ism that we're bringing y'all. Do you see how it works? Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. That's why you need to read Ostentatious Cripples in 2000 Seasons and understand the work of Marcus Garvey and the work of Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba and all of these serious people who existed on each side of the water. And we're gonna let a body of water separate us? That's what we're gonna do? That's the conversation and debate that's taking place? No. My delineation is winners versus losers. I know how winners behave, and I only want to deal with winners. I don't care where you were born, but I know that if you're black, we got kinship together because we have a shared history of being banged on by other people because we were easy to bang on because of our separation. On the continent, the tribalism that exists on the continent is a limiting factor for us. And then when you come to the States, there's tribalism amongst East Coast, West Coast, country versus city.
Look, amongst Bronx and Brooklyn.
Exactly.
And then in Brooklyn, it's Flatbush versus Brownsville versus Crown Heights versus Bed-Stuy versus Coney Island.
Yeah.
And then in Bed-Stuy is Gates Avenue versus Tompkins.
Yes. And what I'm telling you is that people who love division, or this thing that they call it, this new word for division called delineation, they'll never stop delineating. Because people who love division always will seek different forms of division. This is what those folks in South Africa, and this is not all South Africans, by the way. They're just the ones with the loudspeakers, the ones getting the attention because it's a COINTELPRO, and you're going to find out that the people funding them are our same traditional enemies. Okay? And so what's happening right now in South Africa is very instructive. They're the ones talking about, black folks from Zimbabwe, you got to leave. If you're from Malawi, you got to leave. From Nigeria, you got to leave. So people left. And now there's still chaos amongst them, where now they are delineating even further into Zulu versus Xhosa. And this is exactly what your enemy wants. And they're not paying any attention to the Boers who are literally carving out a piece of South Africa as whites only. Did you know that they carved out their own territory for whites only in South Africa right now? And these black folks who are talking about delineation and got nothing to say about it because they don't bang against, they want to fight horizontally instead of fighting vertically.
Right.
You see, any black person who's talking to you about fighting each other horizontally because this person don't like and these people don't like these people, they're just engaging in the black box of what caused our plane to crash. And those people who have the power over us with higher technology are laughing at how easy it is to divide black folks. They're laughing at us. And those of us who are talking about unity are usually the targets. That's the Marcus Garveys. That's the Stokely Carmichaels, the Kwame Tures. These are the people. You don't even know the CIA was looking at Stokely Carmichael very, very seriously. We changed his name to Kwame Ture because the CIA had a document. I think Red Pills talked about it, the fear of a black messiah. And at the time, they were looking at Stokely Carmichael as being that person. You know why? Because Stokely Carmichael was born in Trinidad, raised in America, got involved in SNCC, which is the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And then he was working with Martin Luther King. And then he got involved as one of the heads of the Black Panther organization. And then what does Stokely Carmichael do? He went and moved to Africa and changed his name to Kwame Ture and lived in Africa, Guinea, and Ghana under the tutelage of Sekou Touré and Kwame Nkrumah. So they were looking very carefully because, like, damn, he's from the Caribbean, he's got ties to the United States, and he was very popular.
Yep.
And he's in Africa now. This is a very dangerous person. And so they were keeping their eyes on Kwame Ture as the next Black Messiah because he was engaged in the unification of all our people because of his lived experience of being born in Trinidad, where he became persona non grata because of his stance for Black power. He's actually one of the people who coined Black power, along with Ricks.
Yes, he is.
You understand what I'm saying? And people don't know this history, so people just be talking. They just be talking. Oh, when did Black folks from the Caribbean ever help us in America? And that means you don't know your history. You don't know your history. You don't know about Kwame Ture. You don't know about George Padmore. You don't know about Marcus Garvey. You don't know about any of these. You don't know about Malcolm X's mother being from Grenada.
Casper Holstein.
This is what I'm saying. From St. Croix. Come on, man.
Numbers game to Harlem. Because he was working in Wall Street and he brought the policy banking. He helped Black people become wealthy and rich. You got Queenie, who went against the Italian mob in Harlem.
Come on, Red Pill.
Right? So
why you giving so much history, Red Pill? Why you giving so much history, bro?
Right. We got rich off of nickels and pennies and dimes out of poverty. It's called policy banking, to the point where the mob had to come in and try to extort our people. That's where you got the lottery system from. This is from Casper Holstein, ladies and gentlemen. So absolutely. So you think, me knowing all of this, you think I'm gonna go to London, give a lecture, and see my brothers and sisters in London and think that I'm better than them or they're separate than me? No, that's family. Let me tell you, when I'm in London, I saw my people and giving the lecture, the hugs and the warm embrace was family. We're family, y'all. And those who don't think we're family are the ones who are fine living next to Billy Bob and Becky Sue. Look, y'all can have that. Right. When I went to London, we went in October 2019. And like I was saying, they celebrate Black History Month then. I was in a facility with over 2,500 people, my brother. And it blew my mind. Just the vendors or the small businesses were some of the top tier, businesses that I've ever seen, right? In terms of like their packaging, presentation, and product, and then the love, the camaraderie, the unmitigated love.
Yes, the love is different, and that's why Red Pill, I need you to come to Africa with me next time I come to Africa. You have an open invitation, because if you think the love was big in London, wait till you see the love on the continent you're gonna get.
Yeah,
the love is different. When I'm in Africa, I feel like I'm Patti LaBelle at the Apollo. That's how it feels. The love is different, because when people see you about that and you really building, man, the opportunities that fall in your lap. And let me tell you something about people who want to start this international Black division. That means they're not getting money. Anybody who tries to limit your relationships to where you were born is somebody who's not getting money, because what that means is you're not going to exercise your passport and find opportunities in different parts of the world. If you have this delineation perspective to think that you different and you better and these other Black folks don't like you, you're not going to go to England and set up shop. You're not going to go to Accra and set up shop. You're not going to go to Lagos and go meet Dangote and set up shop and invest and make 20 times your money. You limit your opportunities when you have this tribalistic worldview.
and it hasn't served us in any way at all. I just felt like this is something I wanted to say because I'm hearing these conversations and people talking, and they're like, basically, they're allergic to everything, outside of their particular tribe that they were born into, their black tribe that they were born into. And it's like, this is craziness. That means you ain't getting money worldwide. Just on that level, forget the moral. Anybody who tells you you should stick to your neighborhood, that means that they're trying to limit you getting money. Anybody who tells you don't mess with those cats, anybody in Brooklyn who tells don't mess with those cats from Harlem, don't go to Harlem, don't do business. Imagine.
Look, that's what they told me though, brother. I was
They told you
outcast.
that?
I was outcasted from Brooklyn because they saw me in Harlem with Sonetta in 2005. They was like, the twins done lost their mind. These are Brooklyn dudes in Harlem standing outside, standing by a table. They must be on crack. No, I'm telling you, they was dragging us bad.
Now
Because
imagine
Brooklyn is
that.
not supposed to be in Harlem.
Yes. Now extrapolate that delineation thinking to countries now. Oh, Brooklyn shouldn't do business in Harlem because people from Harlem don't like us, right? You know how much money you're missing out on not doing business in Manhattan? So imagine now someone says Jamaicans don't like us.
Right. And
So
then
I'm
Harlem
not supposed
saved
to
my
go to
life.
Jamaica and do business? You know how much money I'm missing out on? I'm not supposed to go to Lagos, Nigeria and do business. You know how much money I'm missing out on? I'm not supposed to go to London and go deal with my brothers and sisters there and set up shop, which, by the way, we have Herbal Results. We have distributorship now. You can get Herbal Results products locally. Just letting y'all know, go to globallegacybuilders.com. You live in England, you can get Herbal Results products shipped to your door the same day of your order. You see, we getting money there, and we're healing people there too, because we're not listening to the losers who speak losing language. Anybody who's telling you not to exercise your global privileges as a black person and don't go to Brazil, right? I'm not supposed to go to Brazil and Bahia and go see my brothers and sisters there and get money with them there and have relationships there because we delineating.
Yeah, stay out of Cartagena, stay out of Brazil, stay away from the islands, never go to a resort, you know what I mean? Or if you go to the islands, stick around with the white people at the resorts. Don't go into the hoods.
Right.
Don't go
That's what
amongst
they
your
want to tell
people.
you.
Right. Only go to the resorts with the conquistadors.
Exactly.
Only hang out with the colonizers, you know what I mean? And talk about your privilege with the colonizers, but never deal with the locals.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
those barefoot people.
conversation.
Yeah, don't deal with the barefoot people because they're bad for business. Like, come on, fam.
This is this is the conversations I'm hearing. When I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, they not only don't want you to have relationships with people outside your country, they don't want you to get money elsewhere. And understand that this is a global economy. You know what I'm saying? And so here's what the delineation people would tell you. Here's what they would tell you. Let's look at this. This is what they want to tell you. This is what, and I'm going to put it in real terms, because there was a comment made a couple of weeks ago with somebody saying, oh, here he goes trying to bring us to Africa, right? And I knew that was a delineation person, right? Which is just a separation. It's just a fancy word of saying tribalism, black tribalism. But check this out. This is what the people who believe in black division and you not doing anything with Africa, because to them, Africa is a bad word, right? It's they in their mind, they've been taught that Africans don't like you, Africans don't hate you, and they'll call you dusty Africans, they call you tethers and those types of words, right? Which is just words. I mean, I grew up in America being called African booty snatcher. You think I'm holding that against black folks in America? No, I put it at the feet of the people who taught black people that, which is the white power structure. Always go to the source of your problems. Okay, that's first principles thinking. Okay, so check this out. We're going to go to Clydestone. This is what they would have you miss out on. Clydestone is a Ghanaian company that's dealing with payment systems. And in the last year has done 4,500%. Do you see that, Red Pill?
That's crazy.
So they would have you miss out on this opportunity to actually make 45 times your money, which I'm invested in Clydestone as of last week. But I want you to remember, I told you that we want a dollar cost average and you should hold for 5 to 10 years. Remember that?
Yeah.
Look at the 3-year growth of Clydestone. Do you see that number?
That's 12,000%.
12,000%. That means that you'd have made 123 times your money in the last 3 years with this African company. This is what I'm trying to tell you all. And since January investing in them, you'd have made 700% your money. And in last week, I made 8% on my money. And I've only just put $40 in. I'm starting to go heavy starting tomorrow. Today, the markets are going to be closed very soon because, you know, I went overtime in the show. We're just freestyling right now. I'm just kind of just telling you what's on my mind because I travel internationally. And when I hear these conversations about us limiting interactions with each other, that means that that person ain't getting money internationally. These are disgruntled people who are losers, and they have the wrong idea about how we're going to come up as a people. Okay? You're not going to come up as a black person anywhere in the world where Africa is weak. If the continent is weak, we're going to be weak globally. This is just how it works. Chinese people worldwide are going to be weak globally if China is weak.
Word.
Sorry you don't like it, but that's just what it is. Indian people will be weak worldwide if India is weak. European will be weak worldwide if Europe is weak. If the EU crashes and becomes destitute and becomes a place where people can bang on, guess how the rest of the world is going to look at Europeans? They're going to take advantage of Europeans, even if you're outside of Europe. And I don't understand why people can't get that when it comes to Africa. The bottom line is that the world sees you as an African, whether you care or not, or whether you hate it or not. Sorry, you've got nappy hair, you've got dark skin. That's the way the world sees you. And if your continent is weak, you're going to be treated like someone who's weak. And that's why they do what they do to us worldwide. So every case of police brutality, every case of job discrimination, they're doing it because they know you're not coming from a strong foundational continent. And we're going to change that. That's the conversation of winners. Losers are looking at pointing the finger at each other. That's what a losing team does, right? They've been losing so long, the quarterback don't trust the running back or the wide receiver. They're pointing fingers at each other instead of uniting and winning because the other team is always running the same playbook. Do y'all get the metaphor? Okay, so we're stopping pointing fingers at each other, and I'm passing the ball the red pill. Red pill is passing the ball to me, and we're developing trust by doing business with each other. So no longer is the quarterbacks not trusting the wide receiver and the wide receiver not trusting the running back, because that's what happens when people start losing. You develop losing traits where people don't trust each other and people are pointing the finger at each other. As it works with a team, that's how it works with the people. Study sports psychology, y'all. And when you start winning, you get confidence. And so I'm only talking to the winners. Okay? And the winning looks like 12,000% in 3 years. 120x your money. So that means that if you invested $10,000, let Heru bust out the calculator again. Okay? Let's just do this exercise with Clydestone. And then we're going to sign off. But it's always good to talk numbers. So let's remove this. And then let's do calculator. Let's do calculator. Entire screen. Share. Here's the calculator. $10,000 times 120. That's 120x. You'd be sitting on $1.2 million today if you invested in Clydestone 3 years ago. How do y'all feel about that? That this is what's going on in the world under your nose, and people want to argue with you about identity politics, about what type of black person you are and where you were born. Do you see how foolish it starts to become?
That's crazy.
Because people aren't privy to this information. And so guess what? As an American, you can invest in Clydestone, which is a Ghanaian company. But if you are taught to hate Africa and Africans and think that you're separate from them, you won't even look that direction. And you just missed out on a whole generational wealth opportunity where you can actually get in. Because now let's look at this. What is the price today of one share of Clydestone? You see, these AI stocks that we're talking about, oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. SanDisk is the best performing AI stock right now. Okay? Let's do this. I hope y'all are ready for this. SanDisk is the best performing AI stock right now. Are you able to see the price of SanDisk today? Did you see this red pill?
Yeah, crash. It's affordable now.
Well, but look at the price though per share.
Oh Lord.
It's $1,500 per share.
Damn.
Now you can still buy fractional shares, but I'm just letting you the price of one share is $1,500. Now, here's the deal. Remember, I told you that all the AI stocks are on sale right now based on the chart. That's what you're seeing right now. Buy low, sell high. All right, check this. We see that in the last year, it's up 3,500%, right? You see that red pill?
Yep.
Okay. But it's at $1,500 a share. Let's go to Clydestone. Clydestone is doing better than SanDisk at 4,500%. But what is the price per share? The price per share right now is $3.70. No, US.
Wow.
No, actually the US price. Oh, I believe the US price is 32 cents per share.
32 cents?
Yes, it's $3.70 in Ghana money. But in US money, it's 32 cents per share.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so here's what I'm showing you. Clydestone is doing better than SanDisk, but the upside is even much better because it's at 32 cents per share US dollars. Whereas SanDisk is at 1,500% per share. That means that you're able to get shares of Clydestone for 32 cents a share with a growth of 45 times your money in 1 year. I hope people understand what I'm trying to say here. So the upside, other words, if Clydestone doubles in price, other words, goes up and you make double your money, it will then be worth 64 cents a share. If SanDisk goes up double, it's going to be worth $3,000 a share. So what is more likely to double? Something going from 1,500 to 3,000 or something going from 32 cents to 64 cents?
32 cents.
I close my case. So therefore, people asking where do you go? You go to mystocks.africa. We covered that in the last we covered that in the last episode, so you can look. You go to mystocks.africa and you register. Okay? And you register, it'll take a week to get, everything approved. And then you can start buying stocks. You can fund it with your bank account, or if you want it immediately, you fund it with cryptocurrency stable coins, USDC or USDT. I covered that last week. You can go look on Red Pill's Patreon or check out my YouTube or Facebook. Someone asked they're not able to see the Dangote IPO. I think that was Kai. Yeah, go to the homepage, Kai, and the homepage here. Let me just show you where you can get the Dangote IPO. right here. Kai Wilson is all about that life. I know she's serious. She signed up the day she signed up for my stock, and it's free to sign up. It's basically like Robinhood for Africa. And when you go in, Kai, it says right here, Dangote IPO, demo live, Dangote IPO, okay? And you'll see it there. I think you could just go to your dashboard. Yeah, go to your dashboard, Kai, and then you'll see the red Dangote IPO, okay? And then if you don't see it for whatever reason, I don't know why you wouldn't see it. Probably you could just search Dangote. No, sorry. Dangote. And then see. Oh, that's Dangote Cement. Let's look at how Dangote Cement has been doing. Oh, so the past year you'd have doubled your money. You'd have 2.5x your money with Dangote Cement. 2 years, you'd have made 3 times your money. Look at that. Okay. And that's West Africa right there. And you can invest straight through here, this platform. Okay. So anyone telling you don't spread your wings internationally and delineate whatever, they're basically telling you don't get money internationally, don't have relationships internationally. And it's basically based on hatred. Okay. And we talking about love over here. We love all our people worldwide. We don't care where you were born. If you're a winner.
Yeah, we global citizens over here. Global.
Yep. That's how we doing it over here. So you see these different Dangote companies there, but his oil IPO has not been released yet. So he has a cement, he has a sugar refinery, and then he has a trust holding company. Okay. But he's about to do his oil IPO in September, and you can get in on that early, and that's going to change everything. I believe that that's going to have more upside than SpaceX in the next 5 years. So that's just me. That's what I'm doing. And you just click the IPO, and you can get a subscription to the IPO before it's released. All right. So we've been on longer than I wanted to be, 3 hours. So I think that people got some good value for their time. And we'll be back at it next week. We're going to have more.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I look forward to seeing at least 10 of y'all in class tonight for this get built. I'm going to have my good brother Hitsayu Aku as a special, as one of the teachers. And we're going to be building. We're going to be making moves. Shout out to all of my KTLians that are in the audience. Let me get a fire emoji if you're part of the program. But yeah, let's keep building, y'all. Let's make this thing happen. And let's continue to have that conversation, that winners talk. Let's talk about that championship.
Absolutely. And you see, Kai Wilson is a winner because Kai got into Bitcoin early. She started training people on how to buy Bitcoin. She did classes and all that. And Kai Wilson, the moment I brought up MyStocks.Africa, she registered the day I registered. We got approved on the same day. And she's about that action. And that's the type of people I like to talk to because they're about kinetic knowledge. And better believe Kai Wilson will be getting some Dangote stock along with me. And I'm sure Kai Wilson's going to get in on some Clyde Stone as well. So we're going to really have identical portfolios and we're all going to be laughing on the beach together. That's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the type of people I like talking to. Kai Wilson, enough respect every time. And there's more Kai Wilsons out there who's really serious about this because they're looking at the numbers and the numbers speak for themselves. So we don't waste any time. Kai Wilson is a winner. Be like Kai Wilson. You understand? So, yep. The brother just said someone just said, yeah, this brother just registered. Yeah, just register and get some of this, get into this early action because the 8 top economies in terms of fastest rising economies in the world are African. You'd be a dummy not to invest in Africa. So if you want to use your emotions and how you've been told to hate Africa and hate Africans, you're missing out on money. That's just what it is. And we're going to win without you. That's the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing, Red Pill. We're going to win without the naysayers. This happened with Bitcoin. In 2011, I don't know if you remember this, Phil. because I know we've been Facebook friends for a long time. But from like 2011 to 2015, I was posting almost like every week about buying Bitcoin. I was telling people, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. And we had the naysayers. We had the people saying, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And look at where we're at now. And those of us who bought Bitcoin during those times when Bitcoin was under 100, under 1,000, under 20,000, we're laughing at the beach. And so there's a new opportunity with AI. Brother Red Pill is showing you how to work AI from a fundamental perspective of using it for your business, using it for, and just understanding technology. I'm telling you how to invest in AI. We've combined forces.
Right. And I suspect the same people that were on the sidelines talking about cryptocurrency and everything like NFTs and everything is the same group of people with no emotion that are talking about AI.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the same it's the same persons. Like it doesn't change. Those are the pessimists. And it's cool. It's cool and everything, but it's dangerous at the same time as well.
It's very dangerous.
It's
but
very
guess
dangerous.
what? But guess what, Brother Red Pill? We're gonna win without them. We're gonna win without them. That's just what it is. See, this brother just said, and this is the difference between what I call static knowledge and kinetic knowledge. Because what we're doing here is kinetic knowledge. He says, this brother says, I learned about rising economies in economic class in 2019. I just didn't know of any methods to invest in Africa. So thank you, Heru and Red Pill, for spreading the knowledge. See, what he's saying is he had the knowledge that Africa had rising economies. He just didn't know what to do with the knowledge because they didn't go a step further and say, here's how you benefit and capitalize off that knowledge. Go to mystocks.africa and buy African stocks. So there's a difference between knowing it and actually knowing how to employ the knowledge. And that's why I always talk about kinetic knowledge. Is it is not enough to know that Africa has the fastest rising economies out of the 8 out of the 10. What do you do with that knowledge? Do you just talk about it and brag about it and say, oh, I know this information? Because that's what we do in our communities, right? Oh, I'm smarter than you because I know this information. But what are the steps where you can benefit off the information where it becomes kinetic knowledge? And that's what we're doing in this show. And this the brother's thanking us for showing him how to take the knowledge that he already knew to benefit off of it. And that's what we're here to do. So salute to you as well, TB307. Stagnators are dangerous. Absolutely. This is what we're going to go through some of the comments and we're going to sign off. We have a comment by, I have to scroll up a little bit, by Nat Negus Cole. Nat Negus Cole is one of the subscribers to HeruTrades.com. Stagnators are dangerous. And this brother's on it because he even sends me tips sometimes. You know, he's a subscriber of mine. He's like, yo, Heru, look at this. Big up Nat Negus Cole. Enough respect every time. Enough love, enough respect. This is somebody who's into kinetic knowledge as well. He's moving and shaking. Hanaka Maru, just knowing this brother Heru is a win. Yeah, just knowing it is a win. We're just showing you, yep, new digital wonders laughing on the beach together. That's real. Okay. Someone says, what do you think about BlackBerry stock? I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I'd like to look at their chart. I'd have to read some more about it, but I would look at their chart to see what's going on and maybe next week. So what we can do next week is this, because, you know, I can't be on all day. I literally got mango trees to plant. Check this out. Next week, anyone who got a question about stocks or anything, Forex, and what I think about different things, next week is your week. You can call in and we will analyze the charts together and I'll show you how I analyze the charts, okay? So next week we can go and look at BlackBerry or any of these other things. It says, what is the international number? Is 1 for America. Is +1, okay? Yes, the 1 before the area code, +1. So Zas, Bam, I know why you're asking that question. You're registering for MyStocks.Africa when they ask you your phone number. So Zas, Bam, 333, he or she saw the numbers and they're getting on it. So I love to see this, man. I love to
Look,
see people.
whoever
taking
saw
the
that 30
information.
cent stock and didn't go immediately to go sign up and drop $300 or $30 or $3.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say.
yeah.
Like,
You heard the brother.
It's not
You heard the
rocket
brother
science.
Tyrese. What did Tyrese say? What more do you want from me?
Like, let's go.
Yes.
Let's effing go.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's so simple that a person would be like, nah, it can't be. Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Everything don't gotta be a super duper struggle. Everything don't have to be jumping through hoops. Earlier today, Brother Anthony, and y'all know about Brother Anthony's integrity. He just not gonna be saying something to say it. This man is a lawyer. He's you know what I mean? He showed you that he prompted a system off of one prompt. He's living proof. He didn't say, yo, Brother Red, I had to take 20 classes. I had to hire some people. I was up all night. No, he built out an entire solution-based system for what he already is doing.
That's saving him $36,000 a month.
Saving him what?
$36,000 a month.
$36,000 a month. I mean, come on, fam. Y'all already know. This is it is what it is. We just gonna keep bringing more and more until we finally show improve, because it's already being shown improve. But I understand the naysaying mentality, but don't block your blessings, y'all. Do not block. Jump off the porch and let's get to it. I want to say thank you. This has been a monumental show, ladies and gentlemen. Later on, we will be in class 8 p.m. Eastern on Zoom only for Get Built. Look forward to seeing you. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, y'all. Bless up.